Hey everyone, welcome back to Tiff Loves Tofu. Today we're going to make ube croissants. This is a super easy baking recipe that anyone can make. Let's get into this recipe. Before we start baking, let's get into the ingredients. So here we have our sugar, we have some almond meal, which is just raw almonds that was blitzed up, and now we have our puff pastry sheets. So I bought this in the frozen section and I let it thaw at room temperature for about an hour. I know, some people may say that using the puff pastry sheets is cheating, but hey, this recipe is for people that cannot bake, like myself. And here we have our coconut flakes, we got some powdered sugar, we have some vanilla extract, and yes, we will be using ube flavoring extract. It's our shortcut method if we want to make this recipe super simple. We got vegan butter and our flaxseed, which we're going to make into a flax egg. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can just grab a bowl and we're going to dump the sugar and the butter and we're going to whisk it together. Fortunately, there isn't too much to mix, so it won't be too tiring to do this by hand. However, if you do happen to have like a hand mixer or a mixer stand, then feel free to use that. And now let's add our flax egg, which was just a tablespoon of flax seeds and 3 tablespoons of water, and I let it gel up for about 5 minutes. And now let's add our extracts, the vanilla extract and ube extract. Be super careful with this because it will stain your hands and your clothes, so just be really gentle when you're whisking this together. I got some of the ube extract on my counter, so it just stained for like a good week and I had to scrub pretty hard to just get it off. And finally, let's add the almond meal and mix this really well together. At this point, the mixture should be very creamy and potent because of the ube flavoring extract. Who knew that a tablespoon of the ube flavoring extract would make such a huge impact? Also at this point, I had to try really hard not to sneak in a taste of this mixture. It smelled really great. Alright, with the mixture all set, unravel your puff pastry sheet and let's cut it into triangles. And you're going to start off by doing that by cutting it vertically, and then we're going to cut it horizontally. So we're going to do it in halves to make quarters, and then we're going to cut the rest into triangles. So let's do it. Also, you can use the box that the puff pastry came in as a guide if you don't want to kind of like cut it the way that I'm doing it. And you know, it might actually be better because you'll have something to follow. Now that we have our quarters, let's cut this at a 45-degree angle. And as a result, you should have 8 triangles. And now let's use the mixture to cover the entire surface. Save about half of the mixture for the other puff pastry sheet. I use about like a tablespoon per triangle, and from there you can use the back of the spoon to spread it out into a thin layer. I got way too excited and forgot to do this before we started putting on the mixture. So before you do that, make a tiny slit at the base of each triangle. This will help us when we're folding it into croissants. Now that we have that out of the way, let's go back and add the rest of the mixture. And now the fun part, let's roll all of this into a croissant. So all you have to do is just roll this forward. You don't have to tuck the edges, you just kind of leave it hanging on the side. I know it looks kind of odd right now, but you know, once it bakes, it's gonna double in size and it's gonna look very beautiful and fluffy. So now let's repeat this step for the rest of the pieces. Before we put this in the oven, we're going to want to brush this with some vegan egg wash. Here I'm using some agave nectar and some plant-based milk. I used almond milk because that's what I had in the fridge, and we're just going to lightly brush it. This is simply just a vegan alternative to egg wash. And yes, it will still give you that golden crispy color that you typically get when you're baking. And with your oven all set at 430 degrees Fahrenheit, let's add the croissants. Bake these for about 15 to 20 minutes or until it's golden. And while it's baking, let's do the other half. By the time we're done with that, the croissants are all ready. So let's head over to the oven and let's take out our croissants. Ooh, will you look at that? It looks so crispy and fluffy. And while it's fresh out of the oven, let's quickly sprinkle on some coconut flakes and powdered sugar. This is, adjusted to your liking. So I really love sugar and coconut flakes, so I just, dumped a ton on here. And this is our final product. This was such an easy baking recipe, and even for someone like myself who can't bake, there's no way that you can mess this up. So I highly encourage you to try it. And right now, I'm gonna do a taste test, and let's see. Ooh, look how beautiful and purple it looks inside. And it's just so crispy and flaky. Yep, this tastes great. Yeah, this is fantastic. These croissants are dangerous. Since they're so tiny, it's really easy to just scarf down like 5 in one sitting. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and would like to see more recipes like this, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Happy holidays, everyone.